Shalom, HaMishpachah. It's amazing. It's amazing. As I walk this path, I learned so much. I go through so much. I've gone through a lot, you know. Sometimes it can be, if you're a husband, you have a wife and children, that can be the hardest thing. Both people are going to want to believe they're right. Something I've been struggling with lately is finding the balance of being the love of Mashiach and walking in Torah. This is where I differ from a lot of people because people will say, well, the Torah says this. Well, Mashiach said a lot of things that made the Torah make more sense, how we approach the Torah. So, it's been hard. Been a rough season. And a brother just brought to my attention the book of Enoch, or book of Hanach. And in the book of Hanach, it basically points to not everybody is, the path is not for everybody. Some people won't find the path. The very popular scriptures, broad is the path of destruction, narrow is the way, and few are those who find the way, I see now why it's that way, because something so simple as going to the gym at 2 a.m. every morning, or every rising, every rising, because I think words are powerful. Even in the book Sirach, it says, keep sorrow far from me. And a lot of people think that means, just live your best life now and stuff like that, but I don't think that's what it means. I think it just means, don't let sorrow take over your life. Don't let sorrow be, in you all the time. You're going to have your seasons, but keep it away. Excuse me. I had to let it out. It's natural. Lord gave me the ability to burp. The gases that may come up, so forgive me for burping. And, it's wild. The more I know the truth, the more I see the truth. And the more you see the truth, that can make life very hard. That can make this world very hard. Some days, yesterday it was all hell broke loose, And it seems like it's always Sundays that are very hard, I feel like it's most people's Sabbath. My day, it's not a Sabbath. But a lot of people are opening portals and worshiping on that day, so it's interesting that on those days it's all hell breaks loose in my life. So I've had a few decent first day of the weeks, but usually I can just feel it. Last night I was laying on the couch, me and my Shah, my wife, wasn't getting along at all. Just rough day. It's one of those days where it seems like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, I'm gonna try to get a slide out of here. No matter what you do, no matter what you try to say, it's you just can't get into love, can't get into agape, it's can't get into agreement. And I went to bed on the couch, Sometimes you kind of learn, it's better for my wife to have the king-size bed and my children to have the king-size bed and them to have the good stuff. Because for me, I just want shalom and yah. Everything else is second, Even the Mashiach basically said, whoever loves his family more than me or something is basically against me, We shouldn't even be close to loving our family or friends or anybody more than we love the Most High. YHWH. So and that makes sense, because I'll be worshiping or praising. I'll be sitting there praising Yah, singing the song, singing praises. A song's really just praise, But I'll just be singing a song to Yah or praising Yah, and I'll feel like out of body almost, The other day, I can't really say what I was doing, because other than moving in the Ruach HaKodesh, and we'll say pouring into the body of YHWH, the body of Mashiach, because I don't like boasting like things I do for our brothers and sisters and Yah. But anyways, in Mashiach. But it's like when I just wrote this new song, hymn. I guess now we would call them hymns or praises. Wrote it for Yah. I just released it. It's called Worthy is the Lamb. But as I'm listening to just the instrumental, I'm feeling the Ruach HaKodesh, just feel my being, and I'm just like messaging, mainly with one brother in the faith, one brother in YHWH, one brother in Mashiach, and brother I love dearly, I love very much, very good brother. When I first met him, he treated me like I was a stranger, The sojourner, he's like Abraham, the way he treated me. He explained to me how things work, and it's like, this is an apple, These are shoes, you can wear them, I'll show you how to tie, and yeah, and he was explaining, I went to visit a ministry, and he was a really cool brother. Obviously nobody's unblemished in this world. I'm sure some days we have days, something my wonderful wife has taught me. It's like, some days we have them unblemished days. People say, oh, are you perfect? No. But some days I think some of us probably walk pretty close. I've had days where, people will like punch you in the face and you're like, Baruch Yahuwah. You give what you have that day. You eat good. Your Shah's happy. She's walking in the ways. The children are happy for some reason. Like, that's when I see Yah's mercy the most, on those days, when I feel like everything's going smooth. But I think those days also come with a lot of groundwork before that day. Something I see is, I've seen a lot of people I love and care about, family, friends, go back to old habits and old things that are very unfruitful and works of darkness. And so many people think that wickedness is just a group of men or demons or wicked things. A bunch of these things are sitting around in them dark robes, It's doing things that we know we shouldn't do. The ancient path was written by many men, by many people, At least their hands, wrote it. But it's the Ruach HaKodesh, the Most High set apart. His breath, It's a thing that we don't comprehend, but it's there. But he really inspired all that stuff. So, but yeah, I've seen how it's not. The ancient path isn't for everybody. A lot of people like this world. A lot of people love this world. When the scripture says they'll be hiding behind rocks to get away from Yahweh's wrath. The judgment of the Most High. Makes sense, People are so in love with this world. People are so in love with this world. I used to think in love with this world meant you want the cars, the clothes, this. But I don't even think it's that. They love the sorrow of this world. They love the comfort of sadness and all these things. And, people will say, oh, you have to be sad with people when they're sad. I'm not going to be sad with people over things that they can control. People can control what they do. I used to think otherwise, and every person I've ever heard, and I don't think that things can't get ahead of people, things can, But every person who's died of drugs, not every person, let me rephrase that. Most people who die of drugs and alcoholism and all these things, yes, there's a chemical imbalance in their physiological brain, but everybody I've ever seen overcome addiction, it's because they put something above themselves. Now, do I believe it should be Yahuwah's ways? Of course, that makes sense. Do I think it should be a Mashiach? Yeah, because in 1 John and 1 Yehochanan, I found the most powerful verse and words I've ever read in my entire existence. But it says, he whoever confesses that the Mashiach, I say Yeshua, for some reason I feel like that's correct. You know, people say Yahusha, Yahushua. I have brothers that say other things. If I'm wrong, Yahuwah, please give me like the best the best teaching ever on that, because I think his name does matter for sure. It's got to matter. I mean, come on. The creator of the Shamayim and the Retz, which is the heavens and the earth, wouldn't have given us, you know. I like when people say my name in reality, not because it's like an ego trip or say my name, but someone says my name exactly how it's pronounced and pronounces it even good, I'm going to be like, someone say my name? But if someone says my name and it's like kind of close, I might be like, someone say my name? So it's got to mean something. I think ultimately it's Yah's character, you know. But, yeah, his name's important. So, hey, if you got a teaching on that, I've heard a lot of people's teachings. I've seen a lot of things. You know, people can point to things and say this is what it says, but that's, you know, that's another infinite journey. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. A wise man accept reproof, and I accept reproof. If you got something good, a teaching on how the Mashiach's name is Yahusha or Yahushua, please show me. I say Yahshua, a brother of mine in the faith. I don't worship men. I don't look up to men and like, oh, this guy is it. But he's just got the fruits, you know. He's got the fruits, and he says Yahshua, and I would say certain names, and I would look at my life and how it would look. And my life is not perfect by any means right now. It's very much not. I had a very, very rough day yesterday, very hard day. Not even hard in this, I wouldn't say hard, but, you know, me and my Shah, we were, you know, we just missing each other. It was like, you know, wasn't really lined up with each other for some reason. Don't know why. But, you know, Baruch Yahuwah, and I say Yahuwah, just be with my Shah, my two beautiful arrows, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Amen. And I love my Shah, I love my children. Some moments it can feel like I don't, to be honest, but it's just, this flesh is something else, you know? But also, the Ruach HaKodesh is strong, so I don't want to deny what I know and now what I believe to be correct. I think that if men have to take the cross and the beating, you know, yes, Mashiach died for us, and he took on everything and loves us first. But also, you know, he comes back with a vengeance, you know, with a wrath. He only dies once on the cross or the stake. Some people say he died on a stake. I have seen that teaching a little bit. I have to dig deeper. So forgive me if you don't even like the cross explanation. I just say it because either way, Mashiach died and rose from the grave. I know that. I've had some supernatural experiences, and I believe the Mashiach definitely visited. But, you know, some people will say that's blasphemous or not possible. Nobody's seen him and stuff like that. But Apostle Paul's seen him, so Paul's seen him. And Paul was a tent maker, so Abraham's seen him. Many people seen him. People can say that wasn't him, but come on, let's be intellectually and let's be honest. Let's be honest, because lying is not good. Lying is not good. So I believe I've seen him come to me in a vision. I remember one time I closed my eyes and I was palawing, which palaw is like the word for, sending up your request to the Most High. It means like petition. I watch what words I say now, because I'm starting to see how words are very important. And the more I walk this ancient path, one day we're all just going to be speaking this, the original language. I know it. I see it. I see it now, what it looks like. I'm just in a stage of infancy in my growth level. Like, I don't want to pretend like I'm already there. Because I see, when I look back, I don't recognize old me like that. Actually, now, Baruch Yahuwah, because there's things that I do and who I've become. Now when I'm around certain people, I just can't relate. Can't relate. People say, oh, I do this, and this, because this. You don't even understand. It's like I do. I was there. It don't work. It just doesn't work, man. There's certain things we can't do. You gotta put down the weed, man. People always say, oh, it's this, it's natural, it's blah, blah. It's like, you gotta put it down, dude. Just be sober. You'll never get around that. And people say the herb-bearing seed. It says that the herb-bearing seed was food. The fruit, the meat of it. And the meat of it was what the body of what was around the seed and how the fruit would grow. So it's in Bereshit, it's in Genesis. There's no getting around that. And it says, be ye sober. Throughout scriptures. Even alcoholics will. And people who want to justify drinking, they'll say, well, this, and this in the scripture. Well, it says don't be a drunkard. So, and then drunkards are usually the ones justifying getting drunk. I'm not doing it no more. Not doing it no more. Baruch Yahuwah. And today's the day of salvation, so every day, even the other day I felt so tempted to smoke weed again, like heavily. Like I felt all hell break loose on my life. And it's been like day after day. It's like I feel like just the enemy of the soul was just like coming for my life. And I almost smoked weed again. It's been a long time, but I didn't do it. Baruch Yahuwah. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Yah, for keeping me away from the thing that I know I shouldn't be doing. Baruch Yahuwah. I give it all to Him, Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Yeshua HaMashiach. Worthy is the Lamb. Man, sometimes I have revelations in the Ruach HaKodesh that I can't even put into words. I just have I just see visions and have revelation and the ways that to describe I would need Yahweh to just like put his Kodesh hands into my human brain and just make my mouth speak, Cause like he's so Kodesh. He's so wonderful. Kodesh is like the Hebrew word for like set apart, if you don't know. And speaking in tongues is, you have to have a translator. You got to translate the word you say. So maybe eventually I'll edit the videos where like I say a word and then have the key like on a map. It'll say like this sign means this, and we'll do it in like the Hebrew and stuff. And I'm learning too. I'm probably pronounce things the wrong way. Maybe I have certain things off. Hey, forgive me. Correct me. If I say something wrong or ain't saying it right, put it in the comment section below. This is YouTube. That's why I like YouTube. I feel Yahuwah has put it on my being to do YouTube. I don't get into anything else. I think YouTube is just fine. Sometimes you just gotta know where you're at. Today, my message is very simple. It's just not simple. I don't even like the word simple because the scripture says don't be simple, but it's very, very childlike, and that's don't give up or don't give in to temptation. Don't give up because it's hard. Press into Yah more. It's gonna be hard. Yesterday I had like one of the hardest days I've had in a long, long time. Don't know why. Don't know how, but YHWH, you know. In our human intellect, in our human minds, we think life has to be a certain way. And it doesn't. It doesn't. Yah's ways are higher than our ways, like the Shamayim above the Rets, like the heavens above the earth. And when things get rocky, you either gotta sleep on the boat like Mashiach, or you gotta go tell the storm to be quiet and be still. You know, it's like, you gotta choose. Either be cool that the storm's going on, or go tell it to zip it. That's it. So, and yeah, you gotta choose. You can't have both, you know. You can't have both. But you can choose. You can choose to either rest during the storm or speak to the storm. You know, speak to the mountain. Say, be gone. Be gone. And yeah. But I'm going to get in here at the gym, get my workout in. I make my videos before I go into the gym every day. And then obviously Shabbat, I always schedule out my videos so people got something Kodesh to listen to. Once again, I'm not saying that I'm this like awesome, wonderful person, but Yahuwah is good, so I just do what he wants. And I believe he wants me to preach or speak the truth. And at least so from my perception, what I've learned, he's not a respecter of persons, so he can use you. He can use you too. You'd be amazed at what he can do in your life if you just surrender. I have moments where I'm not so awesome, and I'm sure he's not smiling at me. You know, he's not looking at me and being like, good job. You know? But I laugh because it's true. And maybe it hurts my heart a little bit. Maybe it breaks my heart that sometimes I'm not perfectly on or exactly what he wants, or maybe some days I can have a bad attitude or be negative, or maybe entertain the wrong things. Maybe to most people, even in the body, I've learned, like, the deeper you walk with Mashiach, sometimes you'll realize, like, your convictions, or let me say, the convictions that you'll feel might be something that most people will laugh at, you know? For me, like, I don't want to eat unclean meat. Some people will say, oh, well, Peter's dream. Like, that's not what Peter's dream was about. But anyways, I digress. And Baruch Yahuwah, and it's Mashiach who lives in me. For it's Yahuwah's breath in me. My Palah, my petition to the Most High. Palah means petition to the Most High, like petition. My Palah, my petition to Yahuwah Sevaot, the creators of the Shamayim and the Rets, the heavens and the earth, is that you have a Kodesh day, that you be Baruch, and that Yahuwah shine his face upon you, and that he brings you joy, brings you a smile, fills your heart with his ways, his righteous ways, because they are a light unto our feet, and they are life to those who find it. Keeping Yahuwah's commandments is important, and believing that the Mashiach is the Son of Yahuwah and died and rose from the grave for our transgressions, and so that we could be forgiven. What you call the Mashiach and what you believe his name is, I don't get caught up in that, because I've heard 1,000 different. I won't say 1,000. Forgive me, Father. Forgive me, Abba Yahuwah. Which Abba means like father, is father, but it's like the original word. But forgive me, Yahweh, I've heard 1,000. But I've heard a lot of different renditions of his name, so I don't really get too wrapped in that, because at this point in my walk, I'd rather call him what I believe his name is, based off of my evidence. I believe his name is Yeshua, but he who confesses that Yeshua HaMashiach is the Son of Elohim is in Elohim, and Elohim is in He. So I think that's the most important thing I've learned earlier on. That's what gave me my faith and gave me hope when I wanted to not be here no more. My heart was destroyed, my mind was broken, confused. But then the Mashiach spoke to my empty wombs, Yeshua spoke to my empty wombs, and he told me he died for me, and he told me he rose from that grave. And like Apostle Paul says, "O death, where is your sting?" Baruch Yahuwah, and worthy is the Lamb, Yeshua HaMashiach, who died and rose from the grave. I love you all. Agape from our Abba Yahuwah Sabaoth. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Shalom.